Waterford. Live from Waterford and Dungarvan, this is Waterford at 1 News.
Good afternoon, I'm Liz Reddy. Today's top stories. The Psychiatric Nurses Association is calling for an independent investigation into overcrowding at the psychiatry department at UHW. The application for planning permission for the North Quays development will be lodged with Waterford City and County Council by the end of November. The owner of the winning ticket for last week's €5.2 million lotto draw, which was sold in Waterford, has contacted National Lottery headquarters. And in sport, All-Ireland hurling champions Tipperary have 7 players on this year's All-Stars team. A Waterford councillor says he has pictures of people sleeping on floors and chairs at the Department of Psychiatry in Waterford. It comes as the Psychiatric Nurses Association says overcrowding in Waterford has reached unprecedented levels. Sinn Féin's John Hearn says 55 people were in the 40-bed unit this week.
So imagine someone coming to stay in your own house and you ran out of beds and they push 2 chairs together and give you a couple of blankets. And this has been ongoing since last January. And everybody in authority knows about that. But it's even worse than that. I have some of the pictures here to show people sleeping on the ground. So you're just brought into a room and you're put in beside the radiator and someone said, no, that's not your bed there. You're sleeping on the floor over here. And they give you a couple of blankets and they pull an old screed around you and you lie on the floor then. So you can imagine when you're not well.
He says it's not a safe situation for staff either.
So with the frustration, people are getting vexed and there's fights breaking out and there's staff getting assaulted and staff going off sick and they can't get staff to come in to employ people because the conditions are so bad. It's self-defeating that people won't come in and take the job. So they're paying a fortune then out on agency workers. So they need to address it. It's absolutely scandalous as you see the pictures that people lying on the literally a corridor with something around them and dumped there.
The Psychiatric Nurses Association of Ireland says overcrowding at the unit has reached unprecedented levels. The organisation says there's been an increase in assaults on staff in recent months and there's also reports that one of the 2 toilets on the unit is broken. General Secretary of the PNA, Peter Hughes, says people shouldn't be admitted if there's no beds available.
The unit is only licensed for 44 residents, so therefore they are not licensed to have more than 44 service users in the unit at any time. But they did have 54 at one stage over the weekend. This is not acceptable in any service throughout the country. Why should it be acceptable in Waterford? And it has become a culture. It has become almost normalised that it's okay. If you think of a vulnerable person that has a mental health difficulty and the only treatment being offered to them is to sleep on 2 chairs put together, it's scandalous actually.
He says it's an ongoing issue at the department.
There's been no real efforts made to address it. We've been highlighting this for the last 1.5 to 2 years. It needs to be independently investigated as to how this is occurring in this service and it's not occurring throughout the country. There certainly is a lack of development of community services in the Waterford area. They do not have outreach teams. They do not have home-based treatment teams, which are in a lot of services throughout the country. But it should not be acceptable that service users are admitted to a unit that has no beds.
The application for planning permission for the North Quays development will be lodged with Waterford City and County Council by the end of November. Falcon Real Estate Development say subject to the granting of planning, work on the project is likely to start by the 4th quarter of 2020. Fine Gael Councillor John Cummins says this is very good news for Waterford.
There's been a lot of negative speculation in relation to the project in recent months, but Trojan work has been ongoing behind the scenes which the public would not necessarily see. And I'm delighted with the statement by Falcon Real Estate this morning confirming that planning will be submitted before the end of November.
The project's set to include a 13-storey hotel and conference centre, retail and office space, 300 apartments and a multi-use transport hub. Councillor Cummins says the importance of the project to Waterford cannot be underestimated.
It's going to provide a major economic boost for Waterford and the entire South East region, and I'd anticipate works on the infrastructure commencing in advance of the project itself. It's the largest mixed-use real estate development in the South East. It's a €350 million project, and the developer has said that they anticipate 2,300 full-time roles being created by the end of 2022.
A 33-year-old man's been charged in connection with an arson attack in the Mount Sion Avenue area of Waterford City at the weekend. A car was set on fire in the early hours of Sunday morning, causing damage to 2 houses. Michael Quinn, with an address at 10 Mount Sion Avenue, appeared before Waterford District Court, where he was charged with arson and causing criminal damage. He was remanded in custody and will appear before Waterford District Court on Tuesday next. The owner of the winning ticket for last week's €5.2 million lotto draw, which was sold in SuperValue in Kilbarry in Waterford, has contacted the National Lottery HQ. The ticket has been confirmed and arrangements are being made for collection. The winner came forward yesterday evening. Meanwhile, a lucky ticket holder in Waterford has won €111,972 in last night's lotto draw. The player, along with another in Limerick, both matched 5 numbers and the bonus, narrowly missing out on the €2.3 million jackpot on offer. The Waterford player, who played a normal play ticket, bought their ticket online. The president of Waterford IT says the oldest student to graduate from the institute is an inspiration. 82-year-old Tom Boyle from Wexford will be conferred with a Bachelor of Arts, with a Bachelor of Arts Honours degree this morning. Professor Willie Donnelly says it's about lifelong learning.
And he's a real inspiration to us all because, he's decided that education is still for him, and it's a reality. I mean, we live in a knowledge economy. We live in a society where going back to the foundation of the regional technical colleges, then we gave people skills that they could use for 40 years. Today, every graduate has to renew their skill set every 5 years. To me, it's exciting.
Tom Boyle said he loved his time at WIT.
Oh, I liked every bit of it. It was marvellous, actually. It was marvellous. You couldn't be more happy with the setup in Waterford. You couldn't be more happy.
Gardaí and Waterford are appealing to the public to contact them if they come across anyone selling fireworks. They say the information will be treated in the strictest of confidence. Sergeant Larry Langton says possession of fireworks is an offence with severe penalties for selling or supplying them.
Fireworks are explosives, and we must remember that. And when we're dealing with them, a lot of them come in on the black market, so there's no controls or tests done on them prior to that. So some are very volatile, and the smallest piece of heat could be from your pocket, being in your pocket, could explode them. And we've seen down through the years the amount of injuries that people have got from them, and serious injuries.
Gardaí and Tramore will have extra patrols in place tonight. They're encouraging people to enjoy the festivities safely. Sergeant Mark Mills from Tramore Garda Station is appealing to businesses to ensure all materials which could be used in bonfires are put away.
I would encourage businesses in the Tramore area, particularly in Riverstown, not to stockpile pallets, and if they have any pallets outside their businesses, to put them away securely. Also with homes, to secure your bins away, particularly around this time of the year, people tend to light bins on fire. So just to put them away safely around the back of the house, in behind a gate or something.
Meanwhile, we're being reminded that Halloween can be a time of great distress for our pets. Pet Mania Waterford says fireworks, trick-or-treaters and other loud noises can frighten dogs and cats and result in them running away. Lisa Alger, who's the head groomer, says it's important to keep pets indoors, and she also says keep sweet treats away from your pet, as chocolate can be fatal for dogs.
It's toxic to dogs, yeah. Even the tiniest little piece for a small dog can be really bad for their health. Just keep it out of reach, maybe in a cupboard or something. Like, obviously cats might get curious, knock a bowl of sweets on the floor, and then the dog will eat away on them.
WLR Sport.
And a very good afternoon, I'm Gavin Whelan. Starting with Gaelic Games, and All-Ireland hurling champions Tipperary have 7 players on this year's PwC All-Stars team. Defender Pádraig Maher will collect his 6th award tomorrow night, equalling Nicky English and Owen Kelly as the Premier's leading recipients. Maher's brother Ronan wins his 2nd award, with Brian Hogan, Cathal Barrett, Brendan Maher, Noel McGrath and Seamus Callan also selected. Kilkenny are represented by Pádraig Welch and Ballyhale duo Colin Fennelly and TJ Reid. Lee Chin and Diarmuid O'Keefe win awards for Wexford, with Sean Finn and Aaron Gillan picked for the league and Munster champions Limerick. Cork sharpshooter Patrick Horgan completes the 15. The football selection will be announced at the awards banquet in Dublin tomorrow night. Ballygunner and Six Mile Bridge will face off in the Munster Club Hurling Championship quarter-final on Sunday afternoon. The Gunners beginning their title defence following last year's success over Napirsig. They were beaten by eventual All-Ireland champions Ballyhale Shamrocks in the All-Ireland semi-finals. Throw-in for that one at O'Grady Park in Six Mile Bridge is at 1:30. WLR will broadcast the game live thanks to George Corbett Skoda, with commentary team Tomas McCarthy and Shayna Hearn on air from 1:15. Ballydurn and St Mary's will contest the County Junior A hurling final on Saturday afternoon. The game will throw in at 2 o'clock in Welsh Park, and it's a repeat of the same county final pairing all of 30 years ago when St Mary's triumphed against Ballydurn in 1989. Ballydurn manager is former Waterford goalkeeper Ray Barry. He says they're very much looking forward to Saturday's big day.
Yeah, Gavin, looking forward to it now. Yeah, it's nearly a month now since we played, so we're there to go, and just hopefully we'll get a fine day and see what happens on the day.
Throw-in in Welsh Park is at 2 o'clock. The Junior A football final also takes centre stage this weekend. It's a 7pm throw-in in Farfield on Saturday evening as Shamrocks and Ballyduff Lower go head-to-head. Soccer now. Holders Manchester City will go to Oxford United in the quarter-finals of the English League Cup. Liverpool will be drawn away to Aston Villa in an all-top-flight encounter. Republic of Ireland under-21 goalkeeper Caoimhín Kelleher made a crucial penalty shootout save in Liverpool's win over Arsenal last night. Reds boss Jurgen Klopp says the Cork youngster showed resilience after conceding 5 goals during the game.
Queeve in general, 90 minutes being there, conceding 5, not really, cannot do a lot in most of the situations. Maybe the second one, not sure. I think the first one was offside. But stay on track, play football, pass the ball and all these things. That's what is the most important thing, and I really like that.
Elsewhere, Manchester United will host League 2 Colchester, and Everton welcome Leicester to Goodison Park. Rassie Erasmus has confirmed that he'll step down as South Africa's head coach after Saturday's Rugby World Cup final against England. The former Munster boss will return to his director of rugby role with the Springboks after the tournament. South Africa have made one change to their team for the decider, with the fit again Cheslin Colby recalled to the starting 15. England are unchanged from their semi-final victory over New Zealand. And Tyson Fury makes his much anticipated professional wrestling debut this evening. Boxing's lineal world champion takes on Braun Strowman in the WWE's Crown Jewel event in Saudi Arabia. That's the latest on WLR. Our next bulletin is at 2.
We live